pick up their first win.
No team knows better than them of how to overcome adversity and come back. Well, they did end up going, what, 0-14, I think, for a while.
Something like
Not
that.
so good.
Yeah.
Quick fire bans coming through. Zed, Kha'Zix, and Twisted Fate continuing to be 100% banned there for Twisted Fate. Shen and Thresh also being banned out by NIP. Last one, will it be Jace, or will they let him through? Do they have a plan to deal with him? It is going to be Nunu. That's actually quite a clever tactic. That's taking it away purposely from Alternate, but instantly Jace gets selected for the second time, and they're still continuing to be 100% pick ban.
I'm like, what? No, that can't be a team up. But I think you're right. I think they have to have some sort of plan for Jace if they're definitely going to let that one go through. And Demon, I was thinking about it just now, and when NIP or Copenhagen Wolves at the time started to actually make some plays and start getting some games, Svenskeren was on, Xin Zhao, Jarvan. We saw his Jarvan earlier on day number 1. It wasn't too effective, but he's kind of swayed away from that. He's gone, to Evelyn. He's gone to a couple of different junglers, but hopefully we'll be able to play something here and really make some plays happen, because besides Bjergsen, he really was a big playmaker for the team. They did go with the Ryze, they go with the Malphite, so not sure if that will be a mid lane Ryze, a top lane Ryze, a top or mid Malphite or jungle, because we've seen him everywhere today.
Well, one thing is for sure, Malphite is 0-4 today. He's not having a good day at all, so that may well spell impending doom for NIP already. Creaton picked up 2 quadra kills earlier on Ezreal, so if that gets locked in, he's certainly going to be a strong champion for him. RNA, you can see in strong assertions. Obviously, before, back in the old days, Season 2, he used to be one of the main guys that decided the team comps for SK Gaming along with Ocelot, and obviously you can see the clear discussions that are going on. He seems to be one of the driving forces here for Alternate as well.
Yeah, he's like really the brain. He always has a notebook with him, like Ocelot does, writing down strategies, writing down picks and bans. And seeing that Ezreal, you think it's automatically going to go to Creatine, but RNA, he's like one of the first people to actually jungle Ezreal.
Jungle Ez, yeah.
So it always is a possibility. Though Creatine on his Ezreal is ridiculously strong, so I would assume it will be going there, but it does give him that leeway either way. And Nami, she just came, obviously with the steady buff she's been getting over the past couple of patches, she just kind of came out of nowhere in that sense, and she's been really a dominating force, I have to say.
We'll see what NIP go with. It's going to be the support and AD carry, I suspect. I'm pretty sure that's going to be a top lane Ryze and a jungle Malphite. That's what I'm thinking it's going to be. I can't see Bjergsen playing either of those champions, honestly. Sona is going to get locked in, so Deficio will be straight on for that one. What AD carry will the test go with? It is going to be Varus.
Yeah, it's going back to his comfort zone, where I believe he picked up a couple of quadras back in the days with his Varus last season. And why not? You already have a good composition. That tanky front line with Ryze as well as with Malphite. And then, of course, with the ultimate of Malphite, you can lock them down with the Crescendo and lock them down with the Varus ultimate. So they have a really strong combo working, but alternate side, just wow.
No messing there. The Blind Monk getting selected once again, and he played very well earlier on against SK Gaming, so why not? And of course, Lissandra, we've already seen Pharrell destroying people with Lissandra. We'll see how that works out for him once again. Final pick here, it's going to be for Bjergsen. What will he go with? Well, it might not be with Bjergsen, actually. We don't know which way those champions could go. We're expecting it to be, though.
I'm looking at this, and I'm thinking to myself, Pharrell Nord, last time when he did this against Evil Geniuses, he had the ability to get into Froggen and lock him down. But here, is he really going to get past that front line and then be able to be safe? Because you have Ryze there to obviously help him out, and they don't really have anyone to dive in with him if he does go for that. But it looks like we will actually have Bjergsen on Ryze or on Malphite here.
So it is going to be Svenskeren going on towards Nautilus. That means the support lane. What are we seeing from this, really? Because it's a pretty aggressive lineup from Alternate. We've got the poke from the Jace, you've got Lee Sin that's going to be diving in there. Lissandra's probably going to dive in with him, and then Creaton's going to be sniping away from range.
Well, let's just say this. The damage they have is going to be really strong. It's going to be hard for Ninjas and Pyjamas to really deal with it, though they have a very tanky front line as well for themselves, but they want to hop on someone. We saw Froggen hitting Caitlyn in their game, Yellow Star, and just blowing him up instantly just because of how strong he was. And they might see something similar to that as well. It's just all about keeping the Test and Bjergsen alive, I think, for NIP.
Well, and what are NIP doing? Obviously, you've got Svenskeren that's going to be going in. You're going to have definitely Godbro piling in alongside him. Ryze is going to be looking to just blow everything up once they're all stacked up together. As long with the Chain of Corruption, you could stack it up. There's potential there for NIP to stack up the ultis, but it always scares me when teams are not quite clicking, that they have to rely on stacking these ultimates up. Of course, you've got Crescendo in there as well. That if they don't land that perfect combo, it just all falls apart.
Yeah, it's very true, but like we've been talking about with NIP, they're an experienced team. They played 12 weeks of LCS last season, and I don't know, this kind of composition, it's not really focused around Bjergsen where he wants to pick people off and kind of 1v5 the entire team. I don't know, I kind of like it. Maybe it's something they've been working on, this whole new strategy based around team compositions, team fighting. I guess we'll see how it goes.
But we were falling back to the Korean style of, hi, there's a camera.
I never understood that.
So, okay, I can explain the reasoning behind that.
Okay.
It's because it used to be done with the, not the OGN studios, the GOM studios, which are actually in a high school, arena in a high school. So a lot of the people who used to go into those studios used to sneak in there out of class. So when they actually came, they were like, oh, can't see me on camera, to run down and hide. And that's where it all started from in the Korean scenes. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Giving you a bit of
You have a wealth of knowledge.
Today I learned. So we are about to get underway though, ladies and gentlemen. It is going to be Ninjas in Pyjamas. They are going to be starting as the red team, and the blue team will be alternate as everybody gets underway. You can see NIP looking focused on your screens. There is that gorgeous arena here at the DreamHack Summer 2013. And this is the Summer LCS, the split beginning. And we've seen some pretty crazy games so far. The league is setting out to be very interesting, not what anyone predicted really. Alternate currently topping that table alongside Meet Your Makers. NIP, they are bottom of the table, equal with MOHGamiing, not a position either of those guys want to be in.
Honestly though, I love it. I love the fact that a new team can come in that worked really hard and can just shut down these other teams. Meet Your Makers have been together obviously for a really long time. We're able to do it, and Alternate as well, but as we are in a game here, it looks like Alternate is going to be a little bit aggressive here. They're going to run into a ward. I'm not sure if they realize it is they're spotted just yet, but they're going to continue that aggression. And this is one of the few teams to me right now in the summer split that isn't afraid of level 1 action, isn't afraid of really invading and taking away buffs.
Yeah, what I worry about is the old football analogy of the new teams that come in, they'll practice and train as hard as they can. They'll come in fit as a fiddle, and yes, they'll win a couple of games at the start, but once everybody catches up over that momentum of that 9 weeks that goes on, the teams that are always at the top are always the same old guys, and maybe the Fanatics and the Gambits will just rise to the top once again.
And the thing is, what makes League so awesome to watch, to cast, to play, is it's always evolving.
Yes.
And if you're not on that curve of being ahead of the curve, I'll say, and inventing new things, working out new things, then you're going to fall behind. And I guess, yeah, it's exactly right. These new teams might fall behind as the weeks obviously do go on. And also, if they have well, I can't think of the word, just the motivation to keep going, the stress that comes with playing an LCS, but either way, we'll find out in a couple of weeks since we are still only in week number 1.
Yeah, I mean, it's clearly there is stress because you can see the fact that the teams that were there took themselves a pretty hefty break, it seems, because they've all fallen behind. Meanwhile, though, Alternate, they are coming in fresh as a fiddle, and you can see immediately the red buff is going to get taken away. RNA will be picking that one up with the help of Jerry. No invades coming out from either team, no special tactics either, because it is standard meta. Everybody in the standard lanes.
When's the last time we ever said that?
Yeah.
A long time.
Probably the last time we cast together, actually, which was just this morning.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Because we don't get switch arounds too much.
Yeah, but anyways, I want to point out something really quick for Godbro. We know him as a Shen player, a Singe player, someone who's, relatively tanky, can do some good damage. His Malphite, he's running 8 flat armor pen and 8%, magic pen, and 8% magic pen as well. So I wouldn't expect, or I would be surprised to expect sword boots and like a hunting guys to be really aggressive, provide some extra damage that NIP might lack.
Curb is going to be poking. We saw how strong Jace can be earlier on. Curb, did he miss that shock blast? Was he checking for a jungler? I mean, there's no way a jungler would have snuck into that top bush already, but you never know with Lee Sin.
I think he missed it, because Dallas was in view from that red ward that we saw Arnia and J-Rigo put in, but either way, if you're going to miss them early on. Don't miss the keywords you need later.
Don't use your shockwave, the acceleration gate with it. Bubble going on towards the Fisher, a bit of damage going to come out from Kratos on there. Just keeping him locked up in that bush. The test, how do you rate this lane? I mean, Nami's actually been really popular in this summer LCS so far. Sona's a champion that we've seen so many times alongside him, but it's effectively Varus versus Ezreal. That's definitely a line that we've seen before, but the fact that Nami's now come into it, does that give that lane that advantage?
Honestly, I have to say it comes down to, I guess, their individual skill, because Ezreal, he's very mobile, obviously. Nami can speed him up a little bit, give him a little bit of a slow, also heal him up in lane, but when you're against like a Sona-Varus combo, they have ridiculous poke on you, which you just saw right there at Deficio, but then they have the sustain that you don't really have, because Sona can heal up a lot quicker. So I think it's just come down to if Creative will get behind it all, if he's going to go that blue build Ezreal, because if he does, he's going to have a hard time doing the damage later on. But if NIP can keep them down, then it's obviously going to work in their favor.
And this mid lane, I'm interested to see how this one's going to work out. There is a pause right there. So for Reynolds versus Bjergsen, in fact, it's Lissandra versus Rise. Not really a combo we've seen at all of, because this is only the third time we've ever seen Lissandra in the LCS.
I think Bjergsen wanted to play Rise specifically for this. I think it was kind of a plan on their part, because Rise naturally build tanky, build a Banshee's Veil. You can sustain the damage that Throne Lord could put down. You're both medium range mages, and the thing is, Rise, if you go head to head against him in medium range, once he gets that tier, his Catalyst, he's going to destroy you. And I think Bjergsen's going to be able to do that. Though, like I said before, it's not really his style from what we know of him in the spring split in terms of playing assassins and interacting with other lanes. He can't split push with Rise because he's like one of the slowest, if not the slowest. But, like I say, maybe it's something we're working on, and I really want to see how it works out.
There appears to be a pause for
internet.
I think it's...
I'm seeing it's internet from
I'm reading
players.
the other bit from Aaron Air, and I don't want to say that, but Sweden and internet, well, Sweden internet is pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Ordinarily. But apparently today it's not too pleased with our state, so we'll see how that works out for them. But you guys at home, as long as you're not having problems watching us, that's all I care about.
That is true.
We don't want to see lags again.
I'm sure whatever streaming platform you're watching on doesn't want to see it either.
Yeah, there's
just
3
spammed
streaming
everywhere
platforms today, ladies and gentlemen, so it's not just the one. We do have all 3 covered. Twitch, YouTube, and Zubu, I believe, are covering this event from DreamHack Summer 2013. You can see Emil there working away. Actually a resident Swede, but living with us in Santa Monica. He's come over from the Santa Monica office, but he's going to keep track of the situation. He's happy to be back in Sweden, although probably not so happy with these technical problems. You can see he's on his radio. So Riot are covering what exactly the issue is, and there's me. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are still here. It's pretty warm when these lights get on as well, so we don't appreciate the pauses either, because it suddenly like cooks you. I'm not normally this pale, guys. I have actually seen some of the sun, but unfortunately these nuclear lights do make
You know what? They should put tanning lights in.
Tanning lights.
So that way, when we have pauses,
sunburn while I'm there, just get it going.
Well, hopefully we don't have that long of a pause to get a sunburn off of it, but work on your tan while working.
Topping it up. Of course, there's a lot of games in this DreamHack arena. Look at the production, guys. They're turning the lights down for us. Good guy production. Realizing we're pretty warm. We don't really know what the exact pause is at the moment. We're just waiting ourselves to see exactly what it is. And JV doesn't look too bothered by it. He's just chilling. He's one of the only Swedish players in the LCS, I believe. In fact, he may be the only Swedish player.
Like I said, wealth of knowledge, Demon. Didn't know that. But I mean, what do we have coming up tomorrow? Because we still have obviously more matches today. We have more matches tomorrow.
Well, it's good that you asked me that, because I can't see.
Well, I mean,
but don't worry, I've got you back. I'm gonna get onto this case.
I was gonna say we have the amateur tournament tomorrow.
We do have the amateur tournament. Now, it's actually a best of 3 as well. So there's 2 semi-finals and a final tomorrow. Coming up, of course, for the LCS that we currently have, it's going to be SK versus Gambit following this game. So it's going to be a big one right there. Gambit only 1-2 in this league so far, and 0-3 for SK Gaming. Neither team really happy with that. And following that, it's going to be Meteor Makers versus Fnatic. Meteor Makers also on a 3-0 so far. Fnatic did lose their first game against Evil Geniuses earlier on in the day. Gambit then will be facing Lemon Dogs as the final game of the day. And that could be a big one right there, because Lemon Dogs are 2-2. Gambit could be 2-2 at that point. Really see which way that one could go. And then, of course, 3 games on the Monday. It's going to be in the afternoon. Fnatic versus Ninjas in Pyjamas. And then it's going to be Meteor Makers versus Team Ultimate. And the final game of DreamHack will be SK Gaming versus Evil Geniuses. Currently, there is internet issues for the players, which is strange, being that DreamHack has a, what is it, 10 gig line or something crazy like that?
Holy crap.
It's pretty big. It's a big fat pipe straight directed from Telia, I believe. Telia are actually on site, so it's a pretty fat pipe for those guys. So there's internet problems. That's a worry. Someone trip over the cable, maybe? Anyone?
Did you try to turn it off and on again?
Yeah, they could turn it off and on again.
Yeah, might work.
Maybe. Just check the admins, make sure they haven't tripped on anything, Right, please. Just looking at the players, and they don't look like they're doing a great deal, so everybody's just sort of sat there waiting.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, they can't really do anything. Like, they can't really discuss strategies or anything like that. They kind of have to sit there and just chill. pretty much.
Sit there and chill.
Well, they can try to with how hot it is here. I wonder how hot it is on the stage actually.
Yeah, so it's actually a network problem. So, DreamHack, please. There's DreamHack engineers running this way right now, probably being shouted at over the radio. What have you done? Apparently, this might take a while, ladies and gentlemen, as well. So, I guess means we're gonna have a break. So, go get some food. Go get some noodles. They're pretty good here. The noodles are pretty good. There's a lot of different food you can have, but everyone at home, go make yourself a cup of tea, bit of coffee, whatever you like to see, a bit of a biscuit to go with it. Who knows?
You're losing me here with this fancy lingo. Tea,
fancy
biscuits.
lingo. Coffee and tea is not fancy.
Tea's fancy for
cup
Americans.
of tea, there's lots of cake to go with it.
Gosh.
No? Okay.
Oh,
we're going to go to a break, ladies and gentlemen. We will be back shortly. It is the European LCS, and there is a network issue. Don't go anywhere. We should be back soon. Trademark.
Saw him play it earlier, did a fantastic job. The war jumping, the kicks into or kickbacks into his own team, and then of course the Lissandra, which I know everyone's excited to see.
Well, you were saying that actually the Bjergsen fact that he's on Rise, it's quite a good counter effectively to Lissandra, because he's going to normally build tanky, magic resist, get that Banshee's Veil in earlier than he normally would do probably. But it kind of works well against Lissandra, so I expect they thought it was going to come through because obviously Alternate tried to get that Lissandra in there every game to play. Yeah,
it's two medium range casters going up against each other, and in the end, if Rise has the mana to do it, he can full combo, well not full combo, but he can do more damage in his combo than you'll do back to him. It's all about if Alternate can kind of counter jungle the blue away from him. I think that's going to be the key thing, and we know RNA, he's done it previously, did it back in SK versus Evil Geniuses at Gamescom. I think he might be able to do it again.
So here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully the game is about to get underway. It will be the blue team of Alternate versus the red team of the Ninjas in Pyjamas. And if you remember rightly, Alternate, they are currently 3-0 up. I kind of knew that screen was about to appear. Whereas they, of course, NIP, they are down 0-3. This is obviously the players just going, well, no, got to quite do this little bit, something here. Something quite right. I'm looking across to NIP and they've all come running back across to them. I don't think it's them.
Yeah, so apparently...
You're pointing at things that I can't see.
Oh, you can't read that? Okay, so apparently the ping issues weren't fixed yet. Oh. And people are still having lag problems right now.
Damn. As I believe.
That's a little, it's unfortunate.
Well,
I mean,
this is Alternate. You know, they are becoming the new CLG EU. They're taking over the mantle. They had the same problems in the promo series.
Yeah.
The ping is back, is what I've been told by production. The ping is back. I'm pretty sure there's going to be ping now all the time, but I think what they refer to is the lag issue is back, which is great. I absolutely love this because I always get left in the lurch. It is D-Man Please. There is actually a Reddit thread, D-Man Please, by the way.
There's no other person I'd rather have beside me than you right now, Demon. With your experience
with
this.
It's kind of, I don't know, maybe I'm cursed. Who knows? Maybe I'm joining Curse.
What do you, oh gosh.
Along with Chaos, apparently.
Yeah, you remember the story Kripko actually told us about his brother visited EU LCS?
Yeah, I hope he's not here.
Oh, jeez. you never know. So apparently his brother, every time he went to a game, which was them versus WE back in the Season 2 finals, or Season 2.
They're saying good luck, have fun, so they're going to go for it. Okay. So let's get in the game. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hope we don't see that poor screen anymore, or the attempt to reconnect, because god damn it, I may well have a seizure. So, Ninjas in Pyjamas on your screen right there. You are going to see Bjergsen on Rise. And you said he's actually not that explosive champion. He can be. If he's allowed to get fed, if he's allowed to get strong, he will burst you down very quickly.
Yeah, easily. It's really hard to deal with that, especially that snare very early on. But he also provides decent ganks, which can work with Bjergsen's style if he wants to visit top lane where you're going to have a guaranteed slow. Even bot lane with Crescendo, the Varus ultimate. He's not running teleport, though, which is really key because most Rises that we see will run teleport. So he really wants to go for some kills on the Pharrellan Lord.
Alternate setting that trap up. Normally it's wicked to walk headlong into these bushes, but I wonder if Deficio may well do it. I think the rest of the team are going to go with him, and they are stood on top of that ward right now. They know that they're there, and they're actually pinging it and going, they're all missing. I wonder if they're stood waiting for us. And sure enough, a 5-man, they're going to maybe go across. Bjergsen is there, Deficio would get dropped very quickly. I think he just saw them. I think he just saw Kraton.
Yeah, he might have saw just a bare pixel of him. And it's kind of funny because in the last game before we made it, Alternate actually invaded the red buff of NIP, put a ward down, then switched over to their own red, and Nautilus started exactly where he's going to be right here. And there was no lane, or there's no invade in the end for either team. So we're seeing what's going to happen this time, and it looks like we will still have normal lanes, Demon.
Yeah, it was the Explorer Award used by Deficio as well, I believe. Seeing if he can get vision there. I think it was. I didn't actually see whether that was the one he used there. We are going to see a potential invade. You can see Shock Blast hitting Bjergsen in the backside, trying to keep those Wraiths busy. Realm Lord just trying to prevent him starting off there. Of course, that's going to force Godbro just to go back to that top lane. He didn't get the experience, the extra he required. And this time it is going to be Kurt going up against him in the top lane. And of course, Realm Lord will be in that mid lane up against Bjergsen.
Yeah, so that Wraith invade was actually perfect for Realm Lord in the lane. It's a little hard for him to deal with Bjergsen if he gets an early level advantage against him. So just trying to keep him behind as much as possible. Svenskeren did end up saving his smite at blue buff. And as you see in the bottom lane, we talked about it a little earlier, you know, what side would we favor in this kind of matchup? And I mentioned it's a little bit skill-based, but Sona and Varus as the test actually taking a huge amount of damage relatively early on.
And you know what, if that Aqua Prison had have landed on the test, I think he might have died there. Because Craton had hit level 2 just a little bit earlier, the test now just hit it. So he had that Arcane Shift and that Mystic Shot to just burst him down very quickly.
Yeah, but and the thing is, as you're seeing right now, I ended up deciding that, you know, Sona and Varus, you have a lot of poke, you have a lot of damage, but you can out-sustain alternate with this Nami, because, I mean, you do have a heal on her, but you can't use it as often as Sona can. You can't really be as aggressive with your poking.
Gold is very close between them, as you would expect. We are only 3 minutes into the game. It's not like there's been any drastic changes just yet. The top lane, of course, where we do see the jungler of RNX trying to sneak in towards that bush. He has got the double buff. Godbro's going quite aggressive here. Maybe Kirp's going to try and bait him in. I think whether he's spotting that one. Godbro immediately just goes passive there, checks that top bush. RNX hanging around here, chugging through a pot. He's going to be high on the hit points by the time he does decide to go for this one. This could be the bait. He's going to try and get in. He's going to go on towards that siege minion. Will it be enough to take him down? No, I don't think it is. Just the simple tankiness, the passiveness of Godbro is going to be enough. And Lee Syndrome is not going to be the case for RNA. He's not going to be baited for that one.
And we talked about RNA on his Lee Sin when we were over at the Expert Test a little bit earlier. And his presence around the map was just phenomenal. And he's doing it yet again. I mentioned earlier before we had the pause last time was that Godbro is running that 8 flat magic fed mixed in with 8%, so he wants to go a little bit of damage, like the sword boost, the haunting guys potentially. Great job by Arnea to kind of get that flash burned at least, and that makes Kurt feel a lot more safe there.
Well, Svenskeren is trying to do a similar to Ferelnor, but he's staying very close to that top river bush. He knows that it's secure because he's got that ward just above, so he knows that there's nobody going to be in that bush, which is why he's staying so close to it. That's his escape passage, should he require it from Bjergsen. And you can see he's very cautious of Bjergsen getting close to do that room prison on him. And I think that's why Svenskeren's decided it's not going to happen here. I'm just going to have to back away.
Yeah, even a ping actually came out of alternate right there, spotting him. Like, they had no vision, but they knew exactly where he was going to be. And they're able to stop that game from happening because Freljord, I mean, to me, if he's going to beat Bjergsen, he has to do it early on. He cannot let Rise get any of his really core items, or else Rise is going to just outlast him in these fights. But relatively slow game. We have passed the point where we were earlier when we had that pause. No kills coming in just yet. And still, I mean, the trading we've been seeing, yeah, we saw Tess get very low at level 1, all healed up now. Cretan as well. He's not really having a hard time here with that life steal.
How do you match these, the Ezreal versus the Varus, as AD carries? If it was like, say, I don't know, both had an Infinity Edge or something, not the build that on Ezreal these days, but how do you stack these up together against each other?
To me, one is more about team fighting in terms of Varus. Like, you want to get that ultimate down, you want to lock them down with this combo you have, so you want to go for that. And then over for Cretan on Ezreal, it's more about a little bit of solo play, but it's also about kiting really well or catching someone if you do go the blue build with those Iceborne gauntlets. But you know, both AD champions can put out a lot of damage. It's just going to depend on who gets ahead early on.
Well, as the first backs come out there, Bjergsen does go back, picks himself up that tier of the goddess. Lee Sin's going to come around here, heading in towards Deficio. Aqua Prison does miss, but it's forced the flash away from Deficio to a successful gank, really. And Aranea, is he going to go around again? There is that ward just in the river above, so that pink ward that they did have down, or have got down in that tri-bush, doesn't give them quite vision of that.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but I don't think he's really going to go back around again. He's blown 2 flashes so far for NIP, so he gave them a little bit of an advantage, but just nowadays, to me, it's not really worth getting the flash. You need to get a kill, or at least make them back out of their lane, so your AD carry, at least in this case, can push up the lane to the turret and deny a lot of CS, a lot of experience and gold over to the enemy AD carry.
Bjergsen's going to get caught out in that mid lane. Aranea is coming in there. He hasn't got his ultimate though, so he can't knock him backwards. But Ferelnor went full on aggression there, used his ultimate to try and catch him out. Of course, the fact that he went straight back and his first item back was a blasted one. He's going full on aggression against Bjergsen here.
Yeah, just like we mentioned earlier, like if he's going to beat Bjergsen, he has to do it early on. And you look at Bjergsen's items, actually, he has a tier and a no magic mantle. So he really wanted to stop any burst from happening, but they're going to be going for a dive here on Bjergsen.
He's going to miss it, but that's going to be the blasting shot, and it will be enough to take him down. This time it's Ferelnor that takes it. Aranea is taken very low. The Ignite still taking the minions on him as well, but it is going to get away. Will he be covered off? Yes, he will. Nami comes down in J-Re, and that just pops off that heel and secures him the kill there. Very nicely played.
It looks like Ultimate might have found the Achilles heel that was in NIP in terms of just set Bjergsen behind, and they won't be able to win the game against you. It worked mostly against EG back in the day when they camped Wicked out, and then obviously switching over to Froggen, but NIP, like, they need Bjergsen. Like, every individual member is extremely well skilled, but they need that motivation. They need that, like, he's doing well. We gotta step up, guys.
But you know, we talked about this in the analysis earlier on. The difference that Alternate had there, you saw Kerp come down, you saw Aranea in there. They were a full team working together just to get that kill, instead of just the individual solo play.
Yeah, they know the strategy. Like, they know what they want to do to beat Ninjas in Pyjamas, and they're going to start executing that strategy step by step by step. And first step was just to get Bjergsen out of the game.
See if he's going to go out of it. Kerp has got that assist, of course. He's going to back off, got that Tear of the Goddess already. Is he going to push very early on for that Muramana? First, of course. He is going to start building towards that. Went for the pickaxe as well when he went back, so possibly going to get for that last whisper as early as possible before he goes for the boots.
Yeah, he wants to kind of do a lot of damage to Malphite, who naturally just gets extremely tanky, and you build towards that Sunfire Cave eventually. But Godbro, he actually picked up a Dorn's Ring, so he wants to sustain a little bit more in lane. He's currently losing in CS, and honestly, Ninjas in Pyjamas are losing across the board in CS. And only their jungle is really up, and that's about 3 right now.
They have 3-man stack down the bottom. Aranea with that red buff on him. See if he's managed to land that Q onto anyone. Deficio, if he steps close to that bush, I'm almost certain they're going to go launching in on it. Of course, Creaton will follow it up. Creaton immediately just trying to force the pressure. It is going to land on him. He does manage to go for it. Didn't get the other side of him for the ulti kick though, so he couldn't force the test back in towards them. And he does just back off there. Nothing was burned though.
Yeah, the Test played very patiently right there. He had his ultimate available, and he didn't want to waste it somewhat because he knew Lee Sin's so slippery. Deficio will be hitting 6 relatively soon. In the meantime, we do have Svenskeren, and he's visiting the top lane here. He's trying to go for a kill on Kerp, though. Kerp has flash, has acceleration gate to get away. Though Godbro, with that unstoppable force, could make a play happen.
He doesn't have boots, that's one of the main things. If he gets caught out proper, I don't think he's going to be able to escape from it, because that slope from Svenskeren could cause problems, and you can immediately see they are still trying to set up for Kerp here. He's using that shock blast from long range to make sure he gets it. Now he's going to back off. I think he's going to go straight for the boots. He sensed something was coming there.
Yeah, it was unfortunate for Svenskeren because he wasn't in a ward, but Kerp just that 2950 ELO coming to play right there, backing out ahead of time. And it looks like Svenskeren going to be visiting the middle lane yet again, but Aranea is already there to counter this.
Yeah, clever play. Like it's mentioned, he did go back. He bought himself a ward and boots, so he's sniffing that one out. Ferelnor with that blue buff, just checking out. Look at that. They have that ward. They know that Svenskeren was there, and he actually wanted to go aggressive on him there. Instead, he does turn towards Bjergsen. Bjergsen tries to go aggressive, but he's going to get turned back on towards him. It will be another kill. It's Ferelnor that takes it with the assistance of Aranea.
I was actually thinking to myself, why did Bjergsen go in for that? But he didn't see Aranea there. And they end up going into a 1v2, and that's 2 deaths for him, and that's so unlike him. He was able to finish those Merc Treads, but a Rise who falls behind early on is going to naturally stay behind as the game progresses. He's already 20 CS down, and Ferelnor, you saw the damage right there. Even without Aranea, he can almost combo him down. Absolutely.
Very strong Ferelnor on that champion. And who else, really? I mean, we talked about his Twisted Fate earlier on, which wasn't actually that awe-inspiring, honestly.
Yeah, I agree.
Not quite. I think his Lissandra play is even scarier, honestly, but that tower is about to go down, and now Svenskeren may well be the target for Ferelnor here. He's going to try and put the poke in and the slow on him. He will back away from this one, but the ultimate's going to get turned around. Svenskeren tries to get the bounce, and if Bjergsen will close the gap here. Here comes Aranea, tries to turn it back on towards Svenskeren. He may pay for it with his life. He's not quite gone down yet. But Bjergsen finally does finish him off, actually, until the light. Svenskeren that picks up the kill there. But meanwhile, in the top lane, Godbro's getting poked. Kerp misses the shock blast. And that will force them to both back away.
Scumbag red buff. Svenskeren, he wanted to give that over to Bjergsen, but unfortunately didn't work out. But still, they got a kill nonetheless, and they can use that to their advantages. Godbro's just going head-to-head against Kerp. You're trying to say, have him use the unstoppable force.
Uses the unstoppable force on Kerp. Wasn't expecting that, nor was Kerp. And now he's going to go down, and Godbro turns it in his favor and picks up the kill.
I think he had that right on the nose with that curve, not expecting that at all either, because that was pretty amazing just to calculate how much damage you could possibly do to Kerp, and realizing that he doesn't have the ability to knock you away anymore. That's what NIP needed. That's like a sigh of relief, because Godbro, when he steps up and plays well, like we saw Shen in the promotion tournament, like the Singe we saw earlier on in that, they can win these games. Like, he can carry the games.
He needs to be that key carry in that top lane, and he is going to be the single split pusher, I feel, and just coming into them team fights with that teleport, of course. Kerp, on the other hand, Alternate have a completely different mindset in this game. They need to be poking from range, they need to be diving in those turrets. They want to go full aggression early on. But NIP happy to play the long game. We'll see how it works out for them. 12 minutes gone. It is a 2,000 gold, just shy of difference between them. For Ellenlord, well, he's going to be farming out those raids because CS is just going to keep on increasing over Bjergsen, who is out of mana right now, has to back away, and Skeren may be the target.
Yeah, it's got to be very careful here. And one thing I'm seeing NIP might, well, not necessarily run into a problem of, is that you have a Malphite, which is always a strong pick, don't get me wrong, but you have an Ezreal who's going to probably go blue buff. Yeah, he's in fact going blue buff, so it'll be a caster Ezreal, won't be auto attack speed. You have a Jace who's going to be poking you, then trying to burst you down when he goes to hammer form, so his Grand Slam isn't going to be like what they exactly need, but Deficio is going to get caught here.
He's going to get caught out. He does flash just perfectly there. As for Ellenlord went in, perfectly timed flash, got him away from that one. It is a flash burn. Does mean that the blue buff is going to be the target of focus for Alternate. It has just spawned up. They have the ward coverage there, but NIP, they want to fight for this one. You can see the piercing arrow coming out onto Kerp there. I don't think they're going to be able to get this one away from them, though. Aranea did have to take it just to prevent them stealing it.
Okay, so we talked about step one for their playbook for Alternate versus NIP. Step one, kill Bjergsen, punish him. Step two, keep doing that by taking away his blue buff. So they've already executed those two first steps. And if they keep at this rate, Bjergsen is not going to really be doing too much. So hopefully Godbro, as we talked about earlier, will be that force to really reckon with here. RNA, he's sticking around over towards the bottom lane yet again. He might be able to go in for something.
Well, NIP are going to try and invade themselves. They want to go in for the blue buff of Alternate, but it's not there right now. And now Alternate realizing this, they're going to try and take advantage. They do manage to put the pig ward down. They're going for Dragon. Is he going to be a bait though? They might go towards the test down the bottom here. You can see the damage coming out from Kratos, already forcing it. There's a 5-member team in here. RNA go very aggressive, manages to land the Q on towards Deficio. Chain of Corruption comes out from the test. That whips out as he manages to just safeguard away. Still, the 5 members of Alternate, they're trying to force something down the bottom here. NIP have to respond.
And Godbro, they did as well, because he teleported down to get in there and stop this fight. It looks like Deficio will be backing away right now. He's very low on health, but that crescendo would be so perfect at this point. And Alternate, I think they're going to pick up their second turn of the game.
Well, the Bjergsen is in that mid lane, though, and backing away, so this looks like this tower is going to be given up. It is going to be Alternate taking down the second turret of the game. Of course, the mid one already down, so that does stretch their gold lead, 2,500 gold. They're going to turn back towards the Dragon. The rest of NIP trying to gather for this one, but Deficio and Bjergsen are a long way from the fight. Alternate could take it before they get there.
Yeah, they very well could, but it looks like Alternate just going to back away instead. I was trying to think if NIP had enough hope to really do something about it, but clearly don't. All they really have is that Varus, unfortunately. But they stopped the Dragon. They did, unfortunately, lose one member, but hopefully they'll be able to do something here. Cretan going to be picking up his own red. We might see a team fight breaking out relatively soon. Like, Alternate, they're pretty far ahead in items, and as well as gold. And with the composition they have right now and picking someone off, they can easily pull it off. Because Bjergsen, he's not tanky still, and the test is very squishy at this point.
Well, blue buff just spawned and was given across to for Ellenlord. Saw Kerp just pushing up towards that top lane. As soon as they see Godbro there, they realize, okay, he's out of the picture. His teleport's already been used. Where are we going to push? What objective we can go for? It's going to be the Dragon. Godbro, he's going to have to start running right now.
I'm not 100% sure that Alternate knows his teleport is down. I don't believe he was spotted when he was coming down in there, and he never really showed himself, but just like you said, Alternate is starting Dragon's going to be going down very quickly here, and NIP, they're not really in a position to stop this.
The piercing arrow came across, and it's not going to be enough. RNA does take it with a smite, and NIP maybe looking to try and engage here. They are going to go towards Ellenlord there. That's not the right target to make it, so it's going to take him very low. He's going to be the focus. He's going to get dropped down. It's going to be RNA that turns that one around into 1 for 0 so far. Can they pick up any more? Chain of Corruption lands perfectly, and that should be the evacuation order for NIP. The test taken very, very low. Godbro coming in behind along with Bjergsen. They're going to try and turn their focus towards him. Oh, the Q from RNA not quite landing. Is the acceleration gate going to be there? No, for Ellenlord doesn't land his shots either. It's just going to be a straightforward 1 for 0 trade.
And it was unfortunate they were just split right there. NIP, they had Godbro and Bjergsen towards the top side of the fight, and the rest were obviously towards the bottom. Deficio, unfortunately, he missed the ultimate onto Ellenlord, though obviously in the end you could probably argue that he was not doing anything in the meantime anyways. But I really have to say, if NIP, I think, had a little bit better positioning, they could have won that fight, actually.
Yeah, And if they'd have layered their ultis correctly or gone in the right place. But this is what we talked about, the picks and bans. They have to layer everything in the right way. When a team's 0-3, I worry for what a team that has to start making those selections. You know, effectively the likes of Gambit, we saw them trying to do it before with the Curse of the Sad bullet time.
Oh gosh.
It doesn't always work. It's a very hard ultimate to lay up. It's all very good seeing exactly how to do it, but executing it is a very different ball game. Curve just going to clear out all that farm in that top lane. Meanwhile, we NIP. They're stacking for the mid turret. They want to get in there.
Yeah, they currently don't have one right now, and the gold lead's starting to slip away from them a little bit right here. With these 4 members, they should be able to get it. RNA, the only one here to really stop it. We do have Ezreal ulti coming in just to push this wave out.
Well, we do see the Aqua Prison landing on towards Svenskeren. Curve was coming down river, but he is very slow. Still only got those tier 1 boots on him. It is going to be a successful defense for Alternate. They're going to be happy with that. And wow, look at this. Jerry putting the pink ward down, not taking any prisoners. Not even just allowing a singular ward in that mid lane.
Through the gauntlet, man. The support battles that Krep always talks about when he sees someone use a pink ward against him. Bjergsen, he's still trying to farm up a little bit. He did get a decent amount of free farm. He was a lot farther behind initially, but look at Alternate right now. They're starting to push up a little bit mid lane. They're going to start forcing the NIP to group up here and stop them from being able to just split and solo farm.
Elmore is just looking for his opportunity to go dashing in on Svenskeren. I think he feels now that he's got that Abyssal Scepter and needlessly large rod, he can pop anyone fairly quickly if he lands his combo on them, which you would expect him to. Kurt pretty low on mana, so I expect he won't be sticking around too much longer against Godbro in that top lane, and that may be where the first tower will fall for NIP. Godbro's been keeping that pressure up there, but we do see Aranea, he's going aggressive, he's going in towards those golems at the moment, taking it around. They may try and close on towards Godbro. They can see him passing by the tri-bush. They've got wards all the way around the red bush, so they know that he's going down there. That blue buff is up at the moment. Alternate going to try and steal it away.
Looks like Bjergsen, he really needs to grab this one. He hasn't had a blue buff just yet. Looks like he will finally be able to lock that one down as the Ezreal ulti comes in, but they have Arna coming in behind Godbro right here, and they actually might be able to dive him here. He does have a Sunfire cape, so he's very tanky, and the turret is very low, but instead they back away. And if you noticed what happened in that last couple of minutes of action was that also they grouped up middle, and then Kirk just sat in the bush in the river and just sat there. He didn't bother going towards middle, but Godbro, he started running right away because he knew if he starts losing team fights when he isn't there, they're going to fall even further behind. But in the meantime, NIP, they're going to be pushing middle, trying to go for this turret. RNA is going to be coming in from behind potentially, and they might have a 4-on-4 engage.
Now he passes straight by Ward, the pink straight on him immediately. Frelnord is going to go aggressive on towards Bjergsen, catches him straight out and takes him down before he gets Chain of Corruption is going to be able to slow Alternate down. He may stop the escape. It's the test they're going to go for. RNA does land the kick. He's getting towards him. Has got his ultimate used already, so he's going to try and go aggressive. The test tries to pick up a kill on Jay Reed's not going to happen. Kratos picks up a double.
Very well done by Frelnord right there just to initiate that entire fight. And RNA still counter jungling right here as Svenskeren standing right by the side, not really doing anything just yet as he does smite it away. So luckily he does get that, but that's for Relnor, like I was talking about earlier, the selfless play out of him, just going in, locking down Bjergsen, and then just the damage he did to him. He did absolutely nothing. Even the crescendo couldn't save him. And also now they should be able to take this turret.
And looking at the gold, you can see why that difference is. There's nearly a 2,000 gold between the two AP mid and the AD carry. Relnor is going to get caught out. Teleport comes out from Godbro, flashes away. Knew that hook was coming in from Svenskeren. Does manage to defend that inner turret, but for how long it was there? Just a couple of 100 hit points left on it. Kraton's getting massive amounts of free farm in that bottom lane. He's got 190 CS right now. Goes back. He's going to get that Blade of the Rune King. He's already got that on him. That blue Ezreal is going to be very, very strong. This may be the first ultimate. No! It lands on towards RNA. He does go down. NOP get themselves a kill, but they're trying to go aggressive. They still haven't done a great deal of damage to that tower, though. So all they get for that is a singular kill. They need the towers.
And they lose the topper in the meantime as well. And Godbro, we always talk about teleports, and unfortunately for him, the two he has used so far haven't really been impactful. But NIP not giving up just yet. They're trying to go middle still. Relnor's ultimate will be up very soon, though.
Now the wave gets cleared out once again. Kraton comes in from the side. They're putting the pressure down. Bjergsen, he's managed to get on towards Relnor. He does go down. Deficio caught in the aqua bubble, but they do manage to get themselves a second kill. These are going to be important kills for NIP. They need everything they can take right now because they're over 4,500 gold behind.
I can hear Bjergsen right now. It's going to be Danish, but he's like, team, please, come on. I just want to kill. That's the second time. Unfortunately for him, it was stolen away, but he does have his Rod of Ages, so he's going to be start getting the extra health, the extra mana from that. And he's almost taking up, I think, right now to deal with Relnor. He might actually go for a Banshee's Spell relatively soon just to really deal with that. And that's kind of what he has to do. That's what we've seen Alternate do every time. Single him out in these fights, kill him. And they haven't even started going for the test yet, which without Cleanse, without a QSS, and honestly being pretty far behind right now, can't really deal with the damage either.
But as we've seen many, many times from Alternate, it's Creaton that is the pain in the backside. It is Alternate going straight in for Dragon. NIP are close by. They're not going to run blindly into this one though. The test of Deficio just lingering around. The rest of the team coming down, but the Dragon already gone. And NIP are late to the party.
See, one thing I love about Alternate compared to other teams is that if they're going to group up for something, they do it. Like, they're not going to just group up and be like, oh, that failed, we have to go back to lanes kind of thing, because they want to make everything they do impactful. And it's been working out so well for them as they are currently sitting 3-0. NIP, they're really on the back foot right here. Brunler was able to get his blue buff. He's backing with quite a bit of gold. Actually goes for a blast he wants, so his death cap will be done really soon, and that is bad news for NIP. I think if he gets that done in the next couple of minutes, they're going to start forcing some fights.
Well, what is bad news is Kerp has completed that Muramana. The Manamune. You can see other way around. And he's got the Brutalizer in there as well. So going to be doing a lot more damage when those spikes come out from those shot blasts. We saw it earlier on with Frog and just how much of an impact that can happen in the fight. Just poke them down. RNA has caught the kick on towards Godbro, pokes him towards him as well, safeguards back. Doesn't go full on aggression. Godbro trying to find his moment to use that unstoppable force to land it perfectly. It was only RNA they managed to pop down last time, and there's that poke I'm talking about on towards the test. Slowly but surely they're chipping them down, taking that turret down. Oh, Baronlord went very aggressive in there, thought he could try and force something from Godbro.
Doesn't look like he's done just yet. I mean, he got Godbro down to half health here, and NIP, they had to give that turret away. Bjergsen went to the top lane. He wanted to get a little bit of farm here, which he's still picking up here or there as the Negatron cloak does come in, so actually might go in. But wow, the ultimate out for Lord just destroys the test.
Catching on towards the test, but the Chain of Corruption lands perfectly. Whittles out, they have to quickly zone away from it. And well, a couple of ultimates used there. The test very, very low, but they do survive. Dodges out of that Arcane True Shot Barrage. Damn it, get my words right. Quick Shot will be giving me lines later or something, I don't know what, but it is going to be the blue buff being picked up. RNA will take that one down. Creaton will be giving it. Ooh, that's the Arcane shift away there. As Sven Skeren came in to try and give him trouble, RNA was the one that ended up picking the blue buff.
Yeah, and we saw right there just, it was pretty much a full combo came out of Lord onto the test.
Well,
and
if
if any
flash, he just burned. Wow, Creaton forced the flash away from that one.
Okay, just wants to stay alive, doesn't want to give away anything just yet, but that full combo almost was able to kill the test, and if anyone else in Alternate just sneezed on him, he would have fallen over, which, you know, one shot blast out of Kurt might have been enough to do that, so also they got to be feeling pretty good right now. They've been taking pretty much every dragon of the game. I believe that is their third, or actually no, second at the moment. But Baron, we saw earlier how sour it could go between Lemondongs and Evil Geniuses. I don't think they're going to go for it, though.
Yeah, it's that new magnet that's been many times called. It does cause problems. So many teams just throw themselves in towards it. We saw it constantly throughout the promotion series, and I think both these teams are going to be aware of that.
See, to me, it's like the newer teams. Okay, I'm just going to see if we had a little bit of fight going on, but like the newer teams, they kind of have that problem of maybe potentially not being able to finish games without that Baron, without that heavy advantage. As God,
you know, it's going to be the ultimate action on towards the test. The wave comes through. He gets caught out. Deficio gets caught on it. You see RNA, the kick doesn't work. Doesn't matter. The Q lands on him. And that will be Alternate picking up a couple of kills again. Pushing through that mid lane. Are they going to go towards the inhibitor turret? It is exposed, but Ferelnord already backing away. The rest of Alternate around. Kerp actually separated here. Godbro trying to pick him off. But they're not going to go for any objectives. Looks like it's just going to be farm out all of the opposition jungle.
They're just hurting them so bad. NIP is just struggling for money right now. We're 25 minutes in, and they're almost 10,000 gold behind at this point. And even with those kills, I'm a little bit surprised that Alternate didn't push for anything else. But it's like they have a lead. They want to play it safe. They don't want to give anything away because they still have that very scary initiate out of NIP.
This may get focused on. He's in this mid lane, pushing on towards that turret. The open turret, of course, Ferelnord and Kerp are close by. I wonder if they're going to try and set something up. Creaton in the top lane, though. He's taking pressure from Godbro. Look at the damage that Godbro's starting to lay down on him. It's going to cause him a problem. The Shard will be back up in a moment. It's going to slow him down. He's going to have that Arcane Shift available. He's not going to pursue it, though. Got to the turret in safety.
Well, that's definitely a good sign for NIP, as we were mentioning earlier, where Godbro did 1v1 Kerp. Is if he can pretty much solo Creaton himself, that means he's not going to be in the fight. And all they really need to deal with is Ferelnord and Kerp on top of that. And it's going to be tough with Ferelnord, obviously, with that pretty much pseudo-Zonias he has. As they are starting to push up here, and they're getting very aggressive. They don't really have any wards down just yet. we might need to see Deficio pick up an Oracle relatively soon to kind of clear that vision out and maybe open up a potential kill.
Frellenlord's hoping he could get behind someone there and maybe take the poke. There is a wave coming up down that bottom lane. It's almost certainly going to be this bottom inner turret. It will be the next focus of target. NIP are all in position, ready to fight for this one. This may be the first 5v5 we're going to get to see proper.
It definitely might happen here, but Alternate, they're going to start sieging his turret down, and NIP has to be very careful, as well as Alternate, because of the engages on both sides. And it looks like they're just going to poke. I mean, that's kind of what they're based around with that caster Ezreal with Jace. They're going to do as much damage as possible from range before they go for an engage, and Sona can only do so much with that if Kirk keeps landing these shock blasts.
Well, they're going to keep on poking through. Godbro has to buy the right perfect time. Oh, the Aqua Prison lands on towards Godbro. Godbro taking very low. The Tess also caught by that shock blast, and well, it just seems that Alternate are slowly but forward, surely driving them back away from this turret. The turret will go down, and look at that. Frellenlord goes full on aggression. Manages to land his ultimate. Spencer's going to get popped. The Chain of Corruption does land on all of Alternate, along with a great crescendo coming out from Deficio there. Can they turn this aggression back around on them? Bjergsen does manage to get that kill off for Frellenlord. It's just a 1-for-1, but the turret going down, and now Kerp coming back in. Shock blast, acceleration gate on towards Deficio. The ultimate kick comes out. Aranea takes down the Test, but he pays for it with his life, and it's Bjergsen that picks up another kill.
So in the end, a 2-for-2, and Alternate picking up that turret. That's a relatively good sign for NIP right there. And I wonder if Frellenlord actually maybe misclicked because he went in, ulted himself. He actually really didn't lock down anyone on the other team except Godbro, who is obviously really tanky. But Dragon is back up again, and Alternate, they favor it.
Yeah, they're going to take this Dragon with ease, and that's going to stretch their gold lead to close to 8,000 gold now. So definitely pushing heavily in the favor of Alternate, just as it's done so far all weekend. This would take them to 4-0. What a dream start in the Super Week for the summer series for Alternate. You know, this is a team that was almost out of it. They were 2-0 down in the promo. They came back and took down Dragonborns 3-2. What a fantastic performance. It wasn't Dragonborns, tell a lie.
It was
Giants. Managed to take them down 3-2 in effectively one of the longest games they've had for a long time.
And I have to ask, like, if you look at this, will they be able to continue at this pace throughout the rest of the season? Obviously, the other teams have that training of already doing it once, and they have the longevity in their team and have the patience to kind of keep going along with it. But also, off to a running start here if they could hit this 4-0.
Who knows? I mean, the players have the skill. They all had the highest elo in the world. It wasn't, you know, just in Europe. They had the highest elo in the world. These guys, 3 of them, were the first, second, and third player in the world of elo. 2,000, 3,000. 2,900 and 2,800. Bjergsen's going to get focused on here, I feel. You're going to see the True Shot barrage coming across. It does catch on towards him. There's the wave. They're going to ride it in. Godbro's going to be the focus target. He's getting hammered from pillar to post. Unstoppable Force was used, but all it caught was Aranea. Now you can see Frellenlord diving in. The Test is going to get caught out. He gets taken down. It's a double kill. Picked up for Kratos. Now they're going in towards Svenskeren. He's going to have to slide away from this one. The Shock Blast coming in, but Alternate continue the driving force back onto NIP.
Does Creed ever die, Demon? We were trying to ask about the KDA earlier on, but they do catch Aqua Prison. Oh, he wanted to go in right there, as Bjergsen did pop that Seraph's Embrace, but that's just perfect engagements every time out of Alternate.
Well, we saw Kopp from Curse having a fantastic KDA last season in the North America, but honestly, I'd love to know what Kraton's at, because that guy has just not been dying, and he's just been getting kill after kill. 2 quadra kills in the last match, of course, as well, so his stats are through the roof. But Alternate are going to be taking down the first inhibitor turret of the game, and they are breaking down the NIP defenses every single time they attack.
Yeah, playing it like a tutorial right now. I mean, they didn't want to go for an inhibitor since they had Svenskeren respawn as well as Godbro, and they don't want to go up against that, but still, like we were saying earlier, they're choking them in terms of the money. They're taking away their jungle on their way back to buy, and considering they have a lot of money to spend as well, a lot of items going to be coming in here. A Void Staff for Frellenlord. That is going to be really hard for Bjergsen to deal with, as if he was already almost dying anyways.
Well, it's an 11,000 gold lead now, and you know that every poke that comes out from Curve, if it lands, it's going to be chunking hit points down. Deficio, he's tried to stack quite a bit of hit points in there, actually. He's got more hit points than the Test right now, because he realizes he is going to be one of those focus targets. The Test himself trying to get as much damage as he can. He's desperately trying to get that Infinity Edge, but still no attack speed on him either, and not really a great deal of help from the rest of his team. If he gets focused, gets targeted, he is going down. That Chain of Corruption has been vital. He's been landing it.
Yeah.
There's nothing to follow it up.
Yeah, they don't have the damage behind it, unfortunately. And I was thinking to myself, Demon, how does Kurt land these shock blasts so perfectly and quickly every time with the trackball mouse? Like, just thinking about that, the accuracy is just ridiculous. But
just imagine what it'd be like with a real mouse.
I know, right? but Jerry, he has an Oracle, so he's clearing out all that vision we were talking about earlier. As Cretan, he's chasing out Bjergsen. He's going to be going in for this.
He's going. Alkane shifts towards him, doesn't quite land. He did have that red buff on, of course, was trying to get the slowdown. It's going to be an exposed inhibitor, and they're going straight in for this one. Kerp is not with them. But then again, nor is Godbro. Godbro's pushing that bottom turret. It could be the second turret of the game for NIP if he can get it. But Kerp, what he's doing, he's shoving that top wave. They're going to go towards that inner turret. They've managed to get a poke on towards the inhibitor. Godbro desperately, he's teleporting in. He's teleporting towards the Baron area, actually. They're going to try and collapse on towards this fight. Godbro thought he could get behind him. Instead, he's come around towards Svenskeren. They have great ward coverage, Alternate. They are ready and waiting for this fight.
And it might break out here very soon if they do go in.
It is going to be RNA just zipping around, trying to bait anything out. Instead, he's going to get caught out. But look at that. Not a great deal of burst coming in. But instead, Svenskeren is going to get targeted. Chain of Corruption does not land. RNA is still in between them. There's Lord. He's the only single target for Godbro. He does manage to take it down. It's going to be the crescendo landing across there. RNA uses the ultimate kick. And the test is taken very, very low, but not dropped yet. But Kerp drops the hammer on him. He takes him down. It's still very low across the board. Svenskeren is going to be the focus, the target next. RNA is going to go towards him. There comes Kratos. He is unstoppable. Bjergsen goes in. Kerp takes him down. That's another kill for Kratos. He's going to see if he can finish off one more on towards Deficio. That will be the triple kill for him when he finally lands it. If RNA does let him get away with it. One more shot. That's all you need. There it is. The ace from Kratos and the triple kill. They're going to push on. They've got minions piling up the mid lane. And they are just going to drive it home against NIP.
They might be able to actually finish this right now. And that last fight, it was very well done by NIP. They caught Lord. They killed him. The test survived the burst that he put out. But it's like, oh yeah, we got Lord. But then you have Kerp jumping on you. You have Cretan jumping on you. And Alternate, they're going to go for the win.
They are going to go for the win. The Nexus turrets are going to be falling. And it is going to be Alternate going 4-0. Topping the league right now. MOHGamiing, they are going to be giving chase. They're going to be facing off against Gambit as well. But what a game. And Alternate are looking unstoppable in this very first summer Super Week. Wow, what a performance.
Did anyone out there just say the European Cloud9? Because I think I just heard it in my head right there. As already 4-0, one game away from having a perfect start to LCS. You really got to give them credit. That step-by-step plan they had worked out so well for them, Demon.
And that is the fourth separate strategy we've now seen from Alternate. They have executed every different type of strategy you can use. That was a poke comp, effectively, there. For Lord, again, just going in once he sees the opportunity. But everybody has the faith in him and backs him up. But look at Kraton again. 7-0-5. The guy is a machine.
He just does not die. And he was farming extremely well. He was about 60 CS ahead of the test towards the end of that game. And also, who can't they beat?